Hey friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Ken Smith, just an old guy having fun with trains. Today I'm going to take our Centerline track cleaning car, which is, I'll just kind of pull it up here real close to you so you can kind of see. That's our Centerline track cleaning car. And it does a fantastic job. I actually did a full video on this, and I'll throw a link in the description. But I wanted to build a body to go over this, and nothing wrong with the track cleaning car, but let's be honest, okay? You got this brass block and roll that's going around your layout, and it's not the most attractive thing in the world. And it's not meant to be attractive, it's meant to be productive. And it's definitely the best track cleaning car I've ever used. But I wanted to build a body, and I decided that I think I might actually have a solution. And so that solution is this right here. This is actually an old Roundhouse drover's caboose that is, obviously Roundhouse is no longer, a thing. It's not being produced. But as I was kind of pulling some different parts, I placed an order a while back with River City. I think it's River City Railroad. But I'll throw a link in the description because I did a review on their cars in comparison to Roundhouse cars. And this was one of the 2 drover cabooses that I got from them. And initially I really dug how this one looked. And I don't know if you can see the cool decals and whatnot on the sides of the car, and I didn't really want to chop this up. But then the more I thought about it, railroads evolve, and our model railroad is no exception. It's been evolving, and so I thought this just might work. And so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. It may work, it may not work. I'm going to be totally honest with you, but I think it will. And without any modifications to the car other than repositioning the couplers so that our car still has a good balance. But I'm going to get up close and personal with you with this one so you can kind of see all the parts that we plan on using, as well as what our finished model is going to look like. And we're obviously going to run it on the layout so you can see that operate as well. So all that to say, let's get into today's build. So here's an overhead view of everything that comes in with the kit, and obviously there's things that we're not going to use. So as an example, we're not using the trucks, we're not going to use the wheels, and some other things that we are going to use. So we're going to set those aside. We're not going to use the well, actually we are going to use that. We're not going to do the truss rods. For sure. But what I plan on doing, and I'll actually flip this over so you can kind of get a good perspective. If I hold this up to the undercarriage and frame, you can see that I'm roughly about 1/4 of an inch shy. Maybe a little bit more on either side. But here's the thing that I noticed almost immediately. If we look up close, I'll kind of take a little point to get my fat finger out of the way. If we look up close, you'll notice that the end of the coupler box here almost is flush with the frame of the Centerline car. Okay? And so my goal is to cut this and then epoxy it onto the sides. If you look, the coupler, or the trucks, are almost in line with the bolsters, about 1/4 of an inch off, without measuring and just eyesighting. But I don't think that that's going to be distracting at all. And the reason why I say that is because, let's be honest, unless you really want to count rivets, the average person is not going to notice that difference. Now here's the exciting thing. When I flip this over, okay, just kind of get this out of the way, and you look at it, and then you look at how the body would sit. Now I got to turn this upside down because It's obviously, we need to do some stuff there. But look at that. It's perfect width-wise. Maybe a 32nd of play. Probably more like a 64th of play. And we're sitting at maybe an 1/8 of an inch on each side, so a 1/4 inch total. Okay? Kind of move that up close so you can see. All right, so again, it's almost a perfect fit. In fact, if this was a box car, I would say it is a perfect fit and there's nothing else we got to do. But because it's a Caboose, there's a door on either end, and obviously somebody's got to step outside onto a platform. So we got to figure out a way of, putting the platform on. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these, take the couplers off, and we'll get our trucks out of the way just for the sake of getting them out of the way so we don't damage them. And we'll see what we can come up with. All right, I went ahead and cut those 2 tabs off that kind of secure the body and the truck, the body and the frames to the trucks and all of that. I cut those tabs off, kind of just, roughly filed it down so that nothing was sticking up. And then I went ahead and I dropped it on the body. And if you can see, I almost got away with not even having to cut the floor out. But I think for this purpose, I'm just going to go ahead and cut the floor out. I obviously have to anyway, but I was almost excited because I'm like, if I only got to cut the center section out, yahoo, right? But sometimes things don't go as planned, and we are trying to make a custom body for this anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that out next. Okay, friends, we're looking straight down on the car. The body fits perfectly, and let me just show you that. All right, so here is a close-up of the car. Here is the body, and it literally now fits right over our frame. You can see a bit of a space in between right there. We're going to go ahead and do a slight adjustment as to how we were planning on securing the end bolsters and the walkway. Initially, I was planning on the whole body just being able to lift off, but I think for secure reasons, I think we're just going to make it so that the roof lifts off. Now, what I did try to do was emulate, okay? Let's assume for a moment that this car is all fixed together, and we need to install that. We can simply just drop her right in. If we need to pick it up and move it, or replace the wheel, or not the wheel, but the roller rag, we can do that as well. So I think we have a solution. I'm going to go ahead and start working next on cutting the end bolsters off and seeing how we're going to go ahead and fix that to the car. I'm also going to throw, at this juncture, I think it's safe to go ahead and paint this black. This is really starting to shape up nicely. This is what I've done with the end bolsters. I actually cut them off on either end, used an Excel handsaw, and got a nice clean cut on both ends. I then glued them on from underneath on each end, as well as some glue on the inside on each end. And they are nice and strong. Not worried about these at all. It's actually holding the weight of the car without a problem. So it should be able to pull it with no issues. I'm going to go ahead and start putting the trucks on, getting the couplers on, and then kind of working out on some of the other finer details. Next up, we're going to go ahead and start working on the roof. You can see we've got our roof walk here. We've also got the off-screen, we've got the ladders already kind of glued in place. Already put the handrails, our end rails already on, but we're going to go ahead and start working on the roof detail next. I've got our roof assembled now. Nothing really too difficult, kind of shake in the box type of kit. You can kind of see all of the detail parts now that I ended up putting on. So I put the toolbox on, I put the ladders or steps on, kind of grab my little pointer here and you can kind of see steps here for the door, toolbox here. This kind of covers the normal part of the car that you would normally see. And again, I just painted the parts black that needed to be painted black. You definitely don't want to paint inside here. If you do, the rag, as the wheel is going around, is going to catch on it and it's going to drag. I also have the handrails on the end sides done. I have the ladders glued on, our roof detail that you can kind of see. So the way the car kind of sets up, you'll get kind of an elevated view, if you will. But I simply take, if this is on the track, I drop that in. And that is what the top of our track cleaning car looks like. We'll take a look at it now on the rail. Okay, here's what our car looks like on the rail. Now, if I grab my little pointer tool and you look down there, you can actually see the wheel. Otherwise, everything is nice and hidden, and it looks really, really sharp. It almost doesn't look like a track cleaning car, even though it really is. And I think that this particular body, with just a little bit of modifications, worked quite nicely. Now, the one thing, and you might be able to see it on either end here, okay, is you'll notice that this coupler sits higher than this coupler. That's because I ended up having to put the draft box on so that this coupler was at the right height. This is actually too tall. And didn't understand why at first, but then I realized that that's because the extra height is right here on the frame of the track cleaning car. And so that explains why it was a little bit off, and the installation of the draft box actually took care of it. It was actually like the perfect shim. All you need to do is just take the draft box and screw it directly onto the current frame or end bolster, and you'll be just fine. And that's really a pretty easy makeover for a body for this. And we're going to go ahead, hook a locomotive up to it, and clean our rail. Next, I'm going to be working on just the outside of Not Enough, which is our small town to my right, not the big city to my left. And we're going to be working around that brewery that I kind of kit-bashed, and we're going to be building some retaining walls, adding some detail around that area next. So stay tuned, have a wonderful day, and you all be blessed.